Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I am here today on site at Menlo Park Terrace, School 19, and I came here because they are doing so many phenomenal things that I just had to bring all of my viewers here with me to see what's going on. So, with me is a teacher here, Katie Dowd, and she has a program for reusing food and sharing food and making sure that everybody has food. There's no such thing as food scarcity in School 19. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, along with Kelly Amiano and Linda Treebosser, we collect any leftover breakfast food, and we also receive donations from Be the Change at Kane University, and we distribute that food out to families in our school who are experiencing food insecurity.
That's terrific. So, so outside, I saw that we have, and we'll go to them later, but they actually have like boxes for, and what I love is that the children come out and they know which box they have to put things in. You want to talk about that?
So in each hallway, we have two bins that we put leftover food in. One of them is for refrigerated items, like their leftover cartons of milk and their little sliced apples, things like that, that need to go into the refrigerator. They go in one bin, and then we collect them in the morning so they can go right to be refrigerated. But everything else, like leftover crackers, cereal, juice boxes, muffins, all of those things go into a different bin, and we collect those and we bring them back here to this room to be sorted and distributed.
Distributed. And we can see that behind us that you have, when we were here looking at this, when I first came in, I said, I can't believe they don't eat all this great cereal. But it's not going to waste.
It's not going to waste, and our children here do get their sufficient breakfast in the morning. They'll eat their cereal, but then if they don't want their crackers, they'll donate their crackers. If they don't want their juice box, they'll donate that. So it's a lot of just leftover, unopened things.
So the children do have that sense of donating and sharing and giving. It's it's part of the process.
They do, and they take responsibility for it. In my classroom, if I ever don't tell my kids, oh, can somebody bring out the leftovers to the hallway? They'll say, oh, we didn't bring the leftovers out yet. Can I go do it? Like, they feel like they're helping and they're contributing. So
So
it's
many
nice that they
great,
have that sense of responsibility.
so many great lessons. I just can't even start to list them all. I mean, caring for others, not wasting, which is a big thing with sustainability, and it's just terrific. And I'm looking over here at all these cans. Where do they come from?
These come from the organization called Be the Change. They're from Kane University. So they donate to us cans of vegetables. They'll also donate these bags of cereal, bags of rice, macaroni and cheese, lots of non perishables that they donate to us every week.
Very nice. And I see here that we have a major contributor. Let me walk off the way from the camera for a minute, and they're going to yell at me, but I'm back. So, Councilman Howie Bauer has, aside from the fact that he loves all the kids here, his wife Ingrid is also a teacher. And so he brings over bags from Ford's Fire Company. So he's helping to contribute to this. And over here, we have a bag. Do you mind if we take out some of what's in here
Sure.
and talk about what? So these bags, how? Oh gosh, the
Yes,
kids carry this.
sometimes they need a little help. Sometimes you'll see somebody grab one end of it and the other kid grabs the
Oh
other end, so they
wow,
help each other
that
out.
is great. So, and how often do they get these bags?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Very nice.
Yep.
And you deliver it to the classroom and then they take it home?
Yeah, so Kelly, Linda, and I sort them out during lunch, and we bring them to their classrooms during lunch, so they have them to bring home at the end of the day.
Okay, I'm going to do one of my favorite things right now and make a mess so
Okay,
we can see what's in here.
we're used to that in elementary school.
Oh my. Okay, toasted oats. I'm looking in here and I'm seeing healthy food.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, what else am I going to have? bread.
Sometimes we get peanut butter and jelly also
Oh, wow.
donated from Be the Change, so we like to give them loaves of bread as well.
Okay, and oh, macaroni and cheese. I don't know a kid that doesn't like that. And I feel like I just went trick or treating, and I got all this great food: muffins and honey grams.
These are our leftover breakfast foods.
Oh, wow! And I'm not going to take everything out, but apples.
The apples are from our breakfast as well.
Wow! I remember the days when they didn't have fruit like good food like this at breakfast. Spaghetti,
From Be the Change.
perfect. Did I miss anything important?
There's also a bag of rice right there, but I think I mentioned that to you. And then we also have some canned goods in there as well.
Wow. So it's the canned goods that's making it so heavy.
Right.
That's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to let you repack this later.
Sure, no problem.
Is there anything that we missed that we should be talking about?
In here, I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything
We,
else.
we got it?
Yeah, I think we've
so. I
got it all.
imagine this is like a team project with all the kids. Whether they're getting it or not, they're getting the bag. They're a part of it and filling it up and bringing the food in so everybody has the bag who needs it.
Yeah, it's really a whole school-wide cooperative project.
That's terrific. And how many families are getting this bag?
I believe it's 13 right now.
13 families. Okay, that's very nice. Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
It's been terrific. Hey, we are back with Linda. And Linda Treebosser is, I guess, pretty much in charge of sustainability.
Yes, sustainability in our school right here, Menlo Park Terrace. So welcome to We Feed Menlo Park Terrace. And as part of our sustainability program, we have worked on trying to help some students out through our, our food. We feed Menlo Park Terrace. So what we do is, it started out way back when we started to realize kids were throwing out a lot of food that was sealed and could certainly be passed along. And we had this little share table in the back of each of the classrooms, and each student, if they didn't want the cracker or they didn't want a part of their meal that was sealed and not touched, they could put it at the back of the table, one of the back tables in a room. And if another student was hungry or needed a snack or wanted something, they were able to go back and take it. That kind of got going very well, and we realized that it got to the point where we had so much food at the back table that wasn't being used that we thought, oh, well, we could repurpose this even more. So what we ended up doing was we noticed there was some students in our building that were food insecure. And the thought came into, of course, Kelly Amiano's mind that, oh my goodness, well, it doesn't have to just be here. We can actually send it home with them. So that table in each of the classrooms started to look like what we have here. Instead of putting it in the back of the classroom and going into each classroom, we started to help the students become a little more accountable and a little bit more a part of this program by actually bringing the food from the classroom at the end of breakfast or lunch, something that wasn't touched or wasn't used. For example, many of the students don't need their utensils or the napkins, so it's still sealed. We were finding these in the garbage. It was just filling up our garbage
And
cans.
is that plastic? I mean, that's the last thing we want. In the
It's
garbage.
plastic, it's
Yep.
sealed, and there was no reason to see it in the garbage. Same thing with beautifully sealed milk that was not touched. The kids, some of them like their cereal dry, so they don't need the milk or don't want the milk. And then that was going right in the garbage can, regular waste. So, we started putting together this system in each of our hallways. This is our first grade and kindergarten hallway, and we have a refrigeration bucket. So right after breakfast, what they don't want that may be refrigerated, whether it's mozzarella stick, like a cheese stick, yogurt. We had cream cheese. There were some refrigerated items. The cafeteria ladies would come down and pick them up and put them back in the refrigerator. Anything that wasn't, a refrigeration item would be put in the bottom bin. And then that would eventually be redistributed to children going home. So.
What fantastic. So, and they're also learning about the importance of recycling and food waste is really one of the biggest problems in our landfills.
Yes. And, since Earth Day was just this week, we try to focus on this is our project for the Earth, our sustainable project for year round. The kids realize that waste not, we should not be wasting the food. And they know even whole apples, we don't throw them out if we're not touching them. We can just pass them forward. So it's almost like a little act of kindness. We try to tell them, it's a little act of kindness every day when you share your food in this respect. We don't want them to get that confused with sharing food that's open and
Yes.
and they're quite they understand that. So as far as the sustainable schools in New Jersey, we're trying our best to make sure the kids know that food shouldn't be wasted. In addition, our township has helped us with this food that is no longer usable, gets put in a special bin right here. And it's labeled for the kids. And that food gets picked up by a company. I believe it's in, I don't know, Rawway or Linden, somewhere.
yes.
They come daily.
And they make
pick
it
up
into biofuel.
They make it into biofuel, and it instead of going in the landfills. They also have a special bin for our juice containers, our milk containers, opened if they're partially used. Of course, they can't go back in the refrigerator. They go in this bin, and then that as well gets picked up by, the biodegradable company, which crushes it, and they do their magic from there. So our children in our school here at Menlo Park are learning every day. We're learning that food shouldn't be wasted. We're learning that food should be sorted in different bins so that we can share it or recycle it into useful energy.
It's such an important lesson that you're
Very
teaching them.
important. And you know what? I think they, growing up, it's especially K and 1, this is just going to continue
It's a
through
part of
their
their
school
life
year.
now.
Yes.
And
yes.
I find that it's the children that are bringing it to their parents.
Yeah, and a lot of their parents don't know exactly where things go, and they are, we call ourselves Earth Defenders.
I love
Okay, here
that.
at Menlo Park at Terrace, we are Earth Defenders, and I always tell them, join the club, be a part of the club, and it will make you feel good,
Yeah,
and you
the-
will be
the
helping
world
the
will feel
Earth.
good.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is
So.
terrific. That is great. And
Yeah.
I happened to be here at a great time because
Yes.
I was watching you hand out books. So if we can turn the cameras around and go look at
My little library. Yes, we
library.
have our mobile library right here in our first grade wing. I am one of the reading coaches along with Mrs. Amiano, and we know the importance of having books in children's hands. And a lot of our children, unfortunately, maybe their parents have 2 jobs or aren't available to get their children to the library for whatever reason, whether it's transportation. There's lots of things that get in the
Time,
way.
whatever, yeah.
So, along with the Woodbridge library system, Miss Sue from the Ford's Library, we reached out to her, and she was willing to send us, 3 bins of books every 2 months or so, and we spread our books out, and we have our own little library system here.
I saw that.
And the
They
children,
have your library cards.
they have a little library card here, and they come, they pick out a book. We write down the book that they're taking. The old hand and, pencil
Yeah.
and paper system. We have no scanning system, but we do it, and they take their book home. They know they have to take care of it. They know they have to return it. And then when they return it, we check it in. And then they're welcome to get a new book. So
And they learn the responsibility of a due date.
they learn the
when it has to be
responsibility of
back.
due date. They learn the responsibility of caring for it. And then the best part is that they get to take a book home to read, because not all kids can afford books. And, as they're progressing in their reading ability, we want to give them, books that are at their level.
Yep.
So. So this has been a wonderful program here, and the kids really enjoy it. They look forward to Library Day, and we've been doing it for 2 years now, so we're going to just keep going.
Fantastic.
We're waiting for that bus to come with the library, the mobile library. We want Woodbridge, libraries to have a mobile bus to come to the school.
We have the health mobile.
Yes,
So yeah, so
that's
maybe
the
we
next
should work
idea.
on that.
That's
Yeah.
the next idea, for a mobile library to come to our building, and then our, kids can take out a book.
Yeah, we don't have libraries in the schools anymore.
No,
so-
we don't have libraries in
Yeah.
our schools, so maybe, those old buses they don't need anymore, we can reconfigure them and
We'll take
and
that to
make-
the mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Always thinking. We're always thinking here at Menlo
Yeah.
Park. So,
This is
yeah, so we're very happy that you came and to
we're
look
so
at what
happy
we
you're
have.
doing it.
And we're
And
very excited.
I love your banner, and we will get that on camera.
Yep, we're building a better world, one student at a time. And that's how we feel here. And it's little things that we do that start to add up. And hopefully, other buildings can, we're happy to share our ideas and help anyone else come on board with us.
I am
And
hoping that
Yeah.
all the other schools start doing what you're
yes,
doing.
yes.
They all should.
Yeah, no food should be wasted. And there's certainly places we can take it.
Take it. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to be right back with Kelly
Amiano.
Amiano, and we're going to take a look at something called little food boxes.
Boxes, yes.
We are back with Kelly Amiano, who actually started this wonderful program how many years ago?
We started this at School 19 10 years ago.
Oh my God, you were so far ahead of the game with this kind of.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
So tell us why you started it and how it.
Okay, so I do a lunchtime program called ILAC, and it's I Am Lovable and Capable for children that need just a little extra loving at lunchtime to meet with teachers. And one of the girls at our table asked if she could bring home the carrots and apples that were left over from the children's lunches because she didn't have any carrots and apples in her home. So we started packing the food up. I started researching. I found a shared table, information. I went to Mrs. Trupa. Mrs. Trupa liked the idea. We had a shared table is how it began in the cafeteria. And then we started in the back of classrooms. And then since then it has evolved to in the hallways where the children sort themselves, everything in the hallway themselves. And it just started with a girl who wanted to have fruits and vegetables in her house, and it has gone way beyond what I've ever expected.
Totally. And you even, like you said, one of your graduates in middle school now?
Yes.
And you've still taken food to her.
I still take food to her
Oh
and
my
him.
gosh.
I take them. Once you're my kid, you're always
Yeah,
my
the
kid.
kids. I
So
love
I
it.
take it to the family
Beautiful.
every other week, and because they don't have a food box, which we'll talk about later, in their area. So that's why I deliver to them because they're food sensitive and food insecure.
Wow. That is
So-
just amazing. They're always, like you said, once they're part of your family,
They are.
They're always part
They
of your
are.
family, and they're always going to have food to eat.
Yes, they will. They're not going hungry on my watch.
So let's go outside and look at one of these food boxes.
Sure, I would love
This
to.
is such a great idea. Where did you
Thank
get
you.
the idea for the food box?
I had started to research it, and what happened was it was during the pandemic. A friend of Mrs. Treebwasser's started doing it, Kelly Cazzola, and she has it by the health center by the Woodbridge Main Library. So Linda and I did a three-way conversation with her. She had the Eagle Scouts make it. I called the mayor's office. I told them what I wanted, and I wanted it for School 19 children because they don't have anywhere over there to shop at. There's no
Right.
stores, just like the Terrace doesn't have the stores. New Brunswick Avenue doesn't have the stores. Keysby, Sunnyview Oval doesn't have the stores. So that's where we started with the 3 boxes, and that's where they are.
So where are the locations of the boxes?
There's a box here at School 19 on property, and then there's a box on New Brunswick Avenue by the VFW. The VFW helped me fill my box, and also Our Lady of Peace Church also helps me fill the box. The Columbiettes and the Knights of Columbus help fill my boxes. And I have one, I think it's called Hillside Gardens, and that's Sunnyview Oval.
Right.
And that's that's in there because that's where a lot of our kids come from, and there's nothing near them at all. And a lot of the parents are a single car, so when the one parent goes to work, there's no
They're
car
there.
for them to go, so they
Yeah.
just walk to the box with their children.
That's great. I want to see one of these boxes.
I
I
can't wait to show you.
Okay, stick with us. We're going outside to look at a box. We are back with Kelly Amiano, and we are standing in front of a mini pantry. Kelly, tell us about this.
Okay, so during the pandemic, a lot of our kids weren't getting their breakfast and their lunch because they had to drive to it. And I had heard about it happening in Rawway. So I called the mayor's office and I told him I would like to have some boxes that people usually use for the mini libraries. And I said, we need it bigger though. I have to get cereal boxes in there. Got all the dimensions. The mayor had the carpenters make it. We have 3 mini pantries. We have one at School 19. We have another one on New Brunswick Avenue by the VFW, and my third one is in Sunnyview Oval, Hillside Gardens by the rental office right there. And I fill them every week. I get food, and I get food from Be the Change from Kane University, and I get food from We Feed Woodbridge. I fill the pantry. We also have the Knights of Columbus fill it. I get gift cards from Wegmans. Wegmans gives me things from Wegmans. I have Columbiettes fill it. I have Teams fill it. Last year, Our Lady of Peace confirmation hours asked if they could fill our boxes.
wow.
So the
So
word is
everybody's
out, and everybody's
involved, yes.
everybody's filling.
So you're filling it, and the people who need it just come here and take some. And you were saying that some people, they take out something and then they replace it with something else.
The cans that are in there now in the front are not the cans that I get from the food pantry, from the Central Jersey Food Pantry. So what they do is they exchange for what they need and they leave the other ones here. There's also different kinds of macaroni and cheese that's in there, which are not mine. So
Wow.
people also put that in that they can. And it's wonderful. It's great for the community.
Yes.
We have some families where they empty out their pantries once or twice a month, and their children stop and they put the food in for the other kids. It's It's
That is
heartwarming.
Great. Yes,
it's
it
heartwarming.
really is. And so, a family that needs it, if it's not part of the school week, it's a Saturday or Sunday.
Anybody
food,
can take.
Anybody can come.
Anybody can come to the pantries. Their locations are easy to get to. I put them in spots that School 19 children go to because, you know, that's my heart. So I did that here and in Ford's, and I also did it in Keysby, and people come from all over. And I now have, someone from a church is also filling it up. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful
a
to
beautiful
see and
story.
for the kids to be a part of it. The children also bring in canned goods for us as well. It's amazing. It's really taken off.
When they talk about it takes a village.
I have my village.
You have your village right here
I have
working
my
with
village.
you. This
Yes.
is a beautiful, beautiful story.
Thank you.
Wonderful thing that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
So terrific, and thank you for being my guest. And
Oh,
for
thank you so
spreading the
much.
Word about this.
Please.
Hope I got one other thing. Colonia High School came to visit
Colonia
you
High
yesterday?
School came and they filmed us, and they would like to start doing it in the high school because they were see the boxes and see everything. They want to do a share table, and I had a teacher from JFK came today, and she was asking me questions. She would like to start it at JFK as well. I know there's a box. I don't know how it's filled by School 25. They have a box as well, but I don't know how that one is filled. And I also know that the Boy Scouts also put things up periodically throughout the township, but I don't know how they fill theirs either. I know they do a lot of food. We also do We Feed Woodbridge, gives me my canned goods as well. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do it without the help of everybody.
Terrific. Well, thank you for
Thank
everything
you very
do.
much. Oh, thank you.
And thank you for watching Greenable Woodbridge and being part of the change and part of the excitement.